Hello again, fellow orchid lovers. It's Danielle with a little follow-up to my last video about orchid infections. I just wanted to briefly show you when I do treat them, what level I keep the solution at, and you know, what I'm basically looking for as far as treating the orchid is concerned. So these are quite a few of my new orchids. This particular orchid, I don't have confirmation that it is actually infected, but it is now my rule of thumb that any type of orchid that I get that has fine roots, I automatically treat it. So it's getting a treatment. But there are a few here you might recognize, like the Naivium, my Andrea West. This is the second treatment that she's getting. Hopefully none of these will blow over because it is quite windy. But I wanted to show you basically what I do to ensure that I'm actually treating the plant. Oftentimes with things like Fusarium, the root system is not viable. And so if you're just putting it on the roots themselves, there's a very good chance that you're not getting the treatment into the plant. And so what you want to do is you want to make sure that you either find viable roots, so roots that you know are actually alive. So like for instance, on this plant, you can see there are white roots with green tips. So make sure that some of those roots are down in the solution because these old roots may not be able to transfer the treatment to the plant. And so you're basically wasting your time. If that's the case, if you have a plant that doesn't have any viable roots as far as you know, then the best thing to do is make sure that you're getting the rhizome wet. And typically you don't want to get the rhizome wet on your plants, but if it's just going to be a quick soak in a fungicide or some type of solution, it is okay with certain caution and certain guidelines. So I'll show you this plant back here so that you can get an idea of what I mean. So you'll see this plant, the rhizome is in the solution, but the actual pseudobulb along with its bracts are not. And that's because I don't want the solution to get in between those bracts or leaves and keep the pseudobulb damp after I drain off the solution. So while I am getting the rhizome wet, because I don't think those roots are very viable for transferring the solution into the plant, I am not putting the levels this high and risking that it's going to get into those bracts, not dry out, and then the pseudobulb's going to rot. Similarly with, let me see, this plant right here. Again, I don't think that those roots are viable, and so the solution, you can see that's her rhizome right there. It's a nice long rhizome, so it goes down into the water so that she can then soak up some of that solution. In addition, I try to let my orchids dry out before I put them in the solution, so I have the best chance of them absorbing the solution. If you put an already wet orchid into water or some type of solution, it's already saturated, so the absorption is going to be very limited. Let's see, what else? Do I have anything else to show you? I don't think so. I think that I just wanted to basically show you that since I was doing an actual treatment today, I figured as a little follow-up to the video I just posted, I would show you what it actually looks like when I'm treating them. And like I said, I do bring them outside. I don't bring that chemical into my house. It is very strong. Even the fumes from the chemical, you want to keep it in a nice open area because it is very, very strong and it could make you sick. And if you bring it in your house and some spills and an animal licks it up, I mean, please exercise caution. So while we're out here, hey, Aurora and Jet, while we're out here, I figured I'd just show you my garden really quickly. This is one of my gardens. This is a no dog garden. You can see that doesn't work. But I grow a lot of my vegetables in here, so I do keep it fenced off so that they can't get to it, because my dogs are like goats and they will just eat my vegetables. So I have peonies, I have sweet peas, I have lettuce, I have basil, I have Brussels sprouts. I bought Brussels sprouts and somehow a broccoli got in there, which is fine. This is my flowering sage, which gets bigger every year and is like literally taking over my garden. So I'm gonna have to trim her. she's taking over. I have more peas growing up here. You can see some of them are getting close to being harvested. I also have a tomato plant in there. I have lilies. These are stargazer lilies. My husband, when we were first dating 18 years ago, that's what he used to buy me as our, you know, his little flowers to me was stargazer lilies. So I always have stargazer lilies in my yard. More tomato plants, lettuce, spinach. I have chives. I have corn. I have a Rose of Sharon tree, some lavender, a hydrangea, more peonies. These peonies bloom first and then fade. These were a gorgeous red color. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to share them with you. And then I have the white one there. Hibiscus, butterfly bush. I'm growing kale for the first time this year. I'm growing red onions for the first time this year. These are my canna lilies. And let's see what else I got here. More canna lilies. And I have some squash and some more tomatoes. Yeah, so that's my garden that needs to be weeded desperately. But we've gotten so much rain lately that the weeds just take over, and it's really hard to keep up with it. So anyways, yeah, so I wanted to show you that. I hope that also helps you a little bit to know exactly how much of the solution you should be applying. And if you have any questions on that, certainly give me a little shout out. My dogs have like allergies, I think, because they're constantly coughing. It doesn't help that they're crazy and they run around like lunatics and then slam into each other like it's, you know, a playground. But anyways, I hope you're all having a great day. I'm enjoying the rest of my day. It's a beautiful, beautiful day out here, and I will talk to you all next time.